Ladies and gentlemen, bayanlar ve baylar. Friends, welcome to you all. I am Ozan Kurtbay Ahtung. I'm here again. In short, you can call me the reader of the universe. Mayday, mayday. Yes, after the weekend astrology analyses, welcome to the tarot analyses. I am Ozan Kurtbay, once again continuing my broadcast on my channel as always. Together with Uranus behind me, yes, together with Uranus behind me. Friends, I have a request from you. And my request is this now. Sorry. Now, the first cards of the analysis I will open come right after the last card of last week's analyses, continuing the sequence without interruption. To fully understand the entire flow and context of these analyses, it is important to note that you need to follow both last week's session and this week's session together, as they are directly connected. Watching both weeks in order will help you see the complete progression and ensure you don't miss any important details or insights that build from one week to the next. Let's say a major arcana card came up, or you notice which card it was. It flows as a continuation of the card that comes after last week's final card. Since we do this weekly, it goes on in a chain, because that's how the flow is. I interpret the flow, I interpret what comes up in the flow and what comes up in that flow. What can you do so that things turn out better for you within the realm of possibilities? That's the deal. That's how it works in the world. Everything is built on top of this. I'll start from there. There are people who know this. I can see it in the statistics. They watch both last week and this week. There are people who follow this, but be aware and act accordingly. I downloaded something last week and it's over. This week starts, it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Because most people live with straightforward logic, this, and end up with nothing. Of course, ending up with nothing is normal. Because most people live within the mold set by society, within those boundaries, this. My life is so complicated. Remove those societal molds from your mind, get rid of them. No one can truly fit into any mold, but everyone tries to put each other into one, and it's all just full of prejudice. You have to get past this too, man. Clear your prejudices, clear your prejudices. Most of us probably aren't even aware that we have prejudices. I mean, when you take a step, you push the person away with 80% prejudice, 80%. And this, whether in business or emotional life, automatically leads to losing before you even start. Prejudices. How do you know? There is no limit to the number of possibilities in the universe. It's that vast. There is a right and a wrong in your mind. This is right. If this is right, then that must be wrong. Now try looking from the other perspective. Oh, turns out your rights were wrong. These were actually right. No, those are also right. Those are right too. Switch to the other side. You'll see that they're all right. It depends on where you're looking from. If you look with linear logic, you only see from one angle. No, that's not how it works. Now, with Saturn slowly starting to move towards Aries, it's already beginning to make itself felt. If your perception is open, it's an incredible process. The Sun is in Gemini. After that, Uranus is slowly heading towards Gemini. Saturn is entering a 4-year cycle into Aries. Uranus is entering a 7-year cycle. In Gemini, we're slowly heading there. And the most important thing here is to wake up. How you wake up, what you become aware of, and what you do with that awareness. Because whatever you do, you alone must bear the consequences. Those who don't wake up, those who don't wake up. When the results come in, they're either trying to blame this one or that one or that one or that one. They're trying to run away. Automatically, they keep spinning in a vicious cycle, constantly asking, why does this always happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? If you're saying this, you're already stuck in a vicious cycle, but you're not aware of it. Attention. Let's see now. Sun sign and ascendant are Aries. Next week is waiting for you too. We are working on it, knowing. Are you ready? In the name of the power of shadows. Exactly. Sun sign and ascendant are Aries. Career life card number 1, career life card number 2, and career life card number 3. These are your sun signs. I mentioned it last week. For those who heard and those who didn't, exactly. Your moon sign is coming up, your emotional life. Aries sign card number 1, Aries sign card number 2, and Aries sign card number 3. Let's see. For the sun sign, for those who are Aries, card number 1 in their career life, it says 7 of Wands. Keep up the struggle exactly as you are. Keep going with the flow. Whatever struggle you are facing, continue just like that. You are not disrupting the balance in any way. Exactly. And you are not blowing anything out of proportion. The closer you get, the more you concentrate on the situation, the bigger it seems, man. You become unable to see anything else. You're not making anything seem bigger than it is. Exactly, I can't fight. No panic or anything like that. Right at the start of the week. Mayday, mayday. Hold on a second. Just stop for a moment. Wait a minute. Let's take a look. Let's see what it is and what it isn't. In front of us, everything you said, every single thing you said, everything you said, turn back. While the moon is in Taurus during the Uranus conjunction, things continue slowly, exactly, along with values. You need to make good use of those value opportunities during the Uranus conjunction because they come and go. That's Uranus for you in an instant. When you reach the middle of the week, Uranus arrives immediately. The journeys begin. Uranus arrives. The journeys have begun. As the moon starts moving toward Gemini, toward the new moon, Mercury is there too. Mercury entering his own house. Is it entering now this week or at the beginning of next week? No, it enters tomorrow. Mercury enters Gemini tomorrow. It's the sign it rules, and Mercury really shines there. That also means journeys anyway. With those journeys, you might leave your current place if things aren't working out here, or you might go on business trips to discover something there. And at the end of the week, with the new moon, new beginnings. What you find, you need to turn it into value with full concentration, dear Aquarius. What you find with full concentration, you need to turn it into value and surpass yourself. You need to do justice to the Six of Swords there. Dear Aries, next week, those journeys will mean a lot to you. Not, it might happen, it will happen. Because again, the moon is in Gemini, travel again, the moon, along with the journeys, with Mercury also pulling out all the stops up to the presentation, bam. And here's the bam. You need to make that bam happen. Action. Emotional life says that yours, meaning you, dear Aries, might be expecting a little attention. If that attention combines with the Seven of Wands above, be careful. Look, I can't be bothered with this. I don't want to do it. I might lose my temper. Just hold on, hold on. Your energy is excessively high. Hold on, your energy is excessively high. Your energy is excessively high. Achtung! And then if the Six of Swords also comes up, on top of that, you'll say, I don't want to leave where I am. I didn't like it. What happened? I didn't like it. What happened? I was there, then journeys will come up, so now let's go this way. Here, you suddenly start to close yourself off to that place. Especially closing off to the law, but I don't want to let this slip through my fingers. You didn't like it. What happened to you on Monday? Who did you go into the stands with? But the thing is, I want to be valued. The Four of Pentacles. Okay, did you put in any effort for this, my friend? Did you put in any effort for this? First, you need to look at that like a real man. Did you put in any effort? Or did you just wait for attention and get spoiled? Because at the end of the week, you need to act both rationally and with balance, especially during the special month. Now look to the right. There are strong ups and downs in Aries' private life next week. For those with moon in Aries, there are significant mood swings. An elevated mood. Then come tensions, possessiveness, and a balance that tends toward escape. When your mood is elevated, you need to turn that into something concrete. And for that, you need to take action, man. Also, don't underestimate the importance of travel next week. Is that it? That's it, man. Dear coaches, next week. Now, let's take a look at Taurus. How will next week go for Taurus signs? How will it unfold? Taurus career life part 1, sun sign. Taurus Career Life Part 2 and Taurus Career Life Part 3. Taurus Emotional Life Part 1, Moon Sign. Emotional Life Part 2, Moon Sign. And Emotional Life Part 3, Moon Sign. So what's going on for Taurus Sun signs in your career life next week? First of all, whatever you're afraid of, you'll experience exactly what you fear. If you're afraid to define it, like saying, I don't want to lose the wintering sound, bank, because you are a sign that tends to be defensive, you start to panic. If you panic, you react emotionally, not with logical responses. Automatically, your moon sign kicks in because your subconscious tries to protect you. It tries to preserve that comfort zone. Then you end up giving all sorts of irrational reactions. Impossible. You need to move toward logical structuring, not toward defensiveness. I know it's hard for you, but there's nothing to be done about this week. Because the new moon is in your sign and it's conjunct Uranus. The new moon is in Gemini and the moon is in your sign. In Taurus, together with Uranus, there are sudden breaking points. If you want to make a judgment towards the middle of the week, the judgment is the Magician card. If you want everything to go under your control, you have to define it here. And the new moon will already give strong support to this together with Mercury. Otherwise, you'll get a clean knockout, just like that. I mean, a clean one. You'll get a clean knockout. So, at the end of the week, do you want those paths to open up all the way, my friend? First, you need to be able to define it. Fuck her, because Uranus will say, I'll come and go suddenly. Come on, Taurus, define something already. Put a name to something. Did you do it? Now go for it. If you say, I'll control this without defining it first, you'll be waiting a long time. You'll be left with nothing in your hands. Zero. Because it will come from there, it will come from there, it will come from there, it will come from there. Uranus is there. Not Bora. Exactly. Your emotional life is telling you there are ups and downs there. That's why you won't be able to define things in your business life. I mean, you'll be inclined not to define them. There are ups and downs, there are ups and downs. At least let me hold on to what I have. Yeah, that works. Have you defined it? Just saying we'll see doesn't cut it. Just saying we'll see doesn't cut it. Because if you say we'll see, you won't take it seriously in your emotional life. You need to put in the effort there and fight for what you want. If you want to keep everything under your own control with your first move, you can't both avoid defining it and expect things to go your way. No one's buying it. You can't have your own ups and downs too. Dude, won't the other person say it himself? You're the one who's inconsistent yourself. What are you trying to control about me? First, resolve your own ups and downs, find your own satisfaction, and only then can you give me what I deserve. You need to give me my due, the beginning and the final destination. Because if you don't do this, do you know what happens in the end? You end up not caring about anything. You start thinking it wasn't worth it anyway. Well, should I tell it to my cone? Then it's okay if you tell me anyway. Yeah, it wasn't worth it anyway. What would you have done if it was worth it? I would have poured out my feelings intensely. And were you able to focus despite your own panic and mood swings? Even though you're a fixed sign, you couldn't do it because you're still on the defensive. Hey, why is that? Because you had a fear of losing in your business life. Let me control it without naming it. You tried to say, I'll name it later. Well, that's not how things are going to work this week. Sorry, dear Taurus. Now let's see. In the name of the power of shadows, dear Gemini is the new moon's lucky sign this week, though it sounded a bit like the 21st Gruyere, the unlucky ones. The new moon's lucky sign. Let's see how things will go for you, how the situation will unfold there. What are you after? Gemini career life is 1. Sun sign. Gemini career life 2 and Gemini career life 3. Gemini, moon sign 1. That is your emotional life. Gemini 2 and Gemini 3. In your career life, that means at the beginning of the week. At the beginning of the week. Now, the 12th house. There, first of all, you will check everything you've forgotten. What's in front of you, behind you, to your right, to your left. You will check. After that, you see, maybe there are things you need to complete. You check it. Because you are at your dark point. The new moon is in the middle of the week. Check it. After that, you can take action and gather your strength. Then you can keep adding on top of it, step by step. Add, come on, add again. It's under your control anyway, isn't it? Yes. Go ahead and take action, man. The new moon is with you. Yeti sunshine mode. That's the mode right now. If you want to move toward that mode, first you need to check what's what. Is everything under control? Click, 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 click. All right, no problem. So go ahead and start taking action. Go ahead and start taking action because it's your new moon. And after that, as you gradually start to feel more and more tired toward the end of the week, you'll then finally complete everything by carefully putting the final touches on all your work for this week. The final touches. Because after that, Saturn will move into your living space, into Aries. You'll deal with what comes after that, after it happens. That's your homework for this week, dear Gemini. Mayday, mayday. After that, you'll go full speed ahead. This week, keep building on top of what you have and gather your strength. In your emotional life, look here. Some negatives might also come up. There could be some flirtations, flirtatious situations at the very start of the week. So what will you do then? You'll have to separate the wheat from the chaff, right? Remove the stones from the rice. Your subconscious will already be saying, I know this one. I know this one. So, should I maybe change my move? Should I maybe combine some things with other things? What if? Why? So which thing will value me more? I just don't want to have to conquer another castle for nothing later on. Exactly. I haven't even fully regained my strength where I am right now. Exactly. So, are you walking the path you believe in? Ask yourself that. You will pull yourself together, but now you suddenly turned right. You turned right, and now you're trying to steer things that way. But is that right turn really the path you truly believe in, like a real man? Well, not exactly. Then first, get to that point. First, make sure that's solid, make sure it's complete, because up there, everything will be shaking like crazy. Let's say you made your move while you were here. Your stubbornness is not the right path. Let's say someone said, let's go this way. But I'm already shaking all over. Let's turn this corner first. They'll say, but you promised me this. You gave me your word on this. Yeah. You said you were committed to this. You can't just change your mind about that. Come on, you can't just say that after all this. This time, it's manipulation on top of manipulation. No, it won't work. It won't fly. Because Saturn is in Aries right now. You'd end up destroying your own living space. No way. I'm serious. It won't work. Now, let's move on to Cancer signs. Let's see what's in store for Cancer signs in the coming period. Cancer is a sun sign, right? Isn't it? Career life 2 and 333. Exactly, Cancer sign, whose ruling planet is the moon, is all about emotional life. Moon 1, moon sign 1. Moon sign 2, my emotional life, and moon sign 3. In your commercial life, that is, on the flow side of your solar energy, since the moon is darker once a week, your calculations may not add up as planned. If you don't connect to your moon sign and act according to your own lines, none of your calculations will work out at the beginning of the week. Then it will start. Cancer, Yusuf, it's not working. My calculations aren't adding up. Yusuf will start to drift toward tying things to the hood in a state of panic. So? Anyway, there will be a new moon in the middle of the week. If you turn everything into a tangled mess here, do you know what the people around you will say? Is that all your talents amount to? Is that really the extent of your abilities? Are you only built on breaking things apart? But at that moment, my calculations didn't work out. Aren't you the cardinal sign of water, my friend? Yes. Where did you put your boundaries? You even rented them out? Because in the middle of the week with the new moon, an incredible fan base will come your way. Oh, you did this, take this too. You did it with this, take this too. You did it with that, take this as well. And can you do this one too? An incredible commercial flow, along with your surroundings. So what will happen at the end of the week? What will happen at the end of the week? At the end of the week, now if logic doesn't settle in at the beginning of the week, if logic doesn't settle, it's a confusing thing. It won't be permanent. That means there's a transformation happening there. Yes, the Saturn in Aries transformation, and at the same time, a dimensional change. This means that the things you do at the beginning and in the middle of the week won't yield immediate results by the end of the week. There's a change in the flow there. With that change in flow, there will be a bit of a delay. During that delay, you'll first turn inward and ask yourself, what could I do better? What did I forget? What was left unfinished? Is there something somewhere that's bothering me? As your perspective shifts, your outlook on events will change as well. When your outlook on events changes, you'll say, oh, I could have gotten more out of this. Mayday, mayday. Ahududu? Now let's take a look at your emotional life. What will the moon card at the beginning of the week bring you? Logically, it will make you feel cornered in your emotional life because you're also afraid. When that happens, your soul feels trapped, man. When your soul is cornered, you'll either move toward inner growth and spiritual maturity, or you'll just pull the plug right there. Click. I don't want to continue with this. Why not? This person never agrees with anything I say and constantly corners me trying to get their own way. Then try a spiritual transformation and see for yourself if there's any justice in the situation. If there's no justice, just let it go. It means the person in front of you hasn't matured. It means the person in front of you hasn't matured. If there is justice, maybe it's your perspective that's too narrow. Try to look at it objectively, because it seems like you're heading toward making some major decisions. That's why you're withdrawing into yourself anyway. If you can make those major decisions, you'll move toward a new order. Saturn is moving into Aries, into the sign of Aries. That means you are moving toward a new order, and from now on, you will progress there. So will you move forward there alone, or will you move forward with those by your side? If you try to move forward with those by your side, will you be able to let go of your losses in your routines? In your emotional routines? Take a look at those. Because things won't add up at the beginning of the week. When things don't add up, is it the person in front of you cornering you, or are you cornering yourself because things didn't add up? That's what's important. That is the question. Now let's move on to Leo signs. What is it? What isn't it? We'll see. Did you see how the topic shifted from Cancer to here? That's why I always say there is more than one possibility. Leo sign. The Sun, card 1, that is Sun sign, career life 1, career life 2, and career life 3. Moon sign, Leo sign, emotional life 1, emotional life 2, and emotional life 3. What does card number 1 say? It says that whatever you did at the end of last week, this week is the time to grab it and make it happen. It's a time for new beginnings. It's time to earn those new beginnings on your own. It's time to receive by deserving it. No waiting around for things to fall into your lap or similar passive expectations. Actually, Leo's nature isn't suited for that anyway. There will be a new moon in the middle of the week. Now, this is the prejudice in Leo's design. Prejudice, weariness, prejudice. Is it not happening again? The mind and body not being in sync, the body's old memories resurfacing. But is it happening again? But is it happening again? Come on, try being open to surprises for once. Try being open to something new for once, because you're fixed. If you don't want to break your defeat, break the old defeat. Just try breaking it. Go on, break it. Because here we have a Gemini new moon. You need to break it. Be open to growth now. Be open to development. Why? Why should you be open? Because you need to name it, my friend. Goodness gracious. Of course, there's nothing you can do there. Here, there's a Moon-Mars conjunction, and it's happening in your chart, in your first house. There, you'll need to name it and set your direction right. Go towards changing your direction. Mayday, mayday? There's such a thing as shame. If you go on with this much prejudice, well, in the end, you'll have nothing left to lose. And when you have nothing left to lose, the lion starts to feel worthless. Why? Because the sun is involved too. So what does your emotional life say? Your emotional life says that you need to consider all possibilities. People around you will be all over the place. You need to consider all possibilities. But on one condition with one requirement. When the new moon enters Gemini in the middle of the week, you have to determine which direction to go, which way you need to head. If you act with prejudice, you can't do it. This is what will happen anyway. This is going to happen anyway. This is going to happen anyway. Why? Well, what happened before? Previously, when there was a new moon in Gemini, was Saturn moving into Aries? No. So then, how do you know what will be new? How do you know what will be the same? Innerchen. Aha. This is also a bit of my own prejudice, for example. But none of these will take me where I want to go. Then I might as well just give up and leave. Indifference. It's not gonna happen anyway. I put it in your ass. No way. This time I'll be left with nothing. Why? Because someone has prejudices and can't set a direction. The Hermit card. You have to, my friend. You have to. Now let's move on to Virgos. Virgos, career life 1, career life 2, and career life 3. Emotional life 1, emotional life 2, and emotional life 3. So, for Virgos, your world is heading toward change this week. Good morning. You are transitioning into a new area. Mayday, mayday. In this area, you will suddenly lose what you have to lose, thanks to the influence of Uranus. You won't even take into account what you might lose. You are heading toward a new order, my friend. And in this new order, you will already make an ambitious entrance. With small-scale changes, you are moving toward a brand new cycle, dear Virgo. By the power of the shadows. Now the world is changing suddenly. And with that change, you are actually heading toward that this is it moment. You are not aware, you are not aware, you have to be aware. In other words, you have to realize it. So, what does your emotional side say? But I shouldn't let my guard down. If you don't let your guard down, you'll lose the tower that's already collapsed, my friend. In other words, you'll miss out on the new order. With that new order, you need to start experiencing your emotions as they are. If you don't start experiencing your emotions, you can't give your emotions to the person in front of you. If you can't share your emotions, you'll ruin everything. But by the end of the week, there's a situation like this, you're heading toward making some major decisions in your life. In this case, you'll have to willingly enter that new order and that new world. You are in. Rising Virgo, a descending. Descendingness. Snap. Is Saturn staying in the 8th house? Is it staying there? It's a complete death and rebirth. That's where you're heading, dear. Virgo, are you ready for this, man? Mayday, 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 Mayday. Next week, your whole world is changing because of this. Let what's left stay behind in the name of the power of the shadows. As long as you get ready to make those major decisions, to whine. Is that it? That's it, dear Virgo. Now enjoy that new world. Enjoy the Mayday, Mayday with friends. I am Ozan Kirkbey. Next video. See you in the next videos. For now, arrivederci.